Welcome back, folks, to Obscure Tech. I have had an obsession lately. My obsession has been voice recorders. Not so much for the built-in mics, at least on the little ones, but just for the mic jack. Like, will it power a dynamic microphone, so on, so forth. It depends. But I picked this up for like $15. It is the Phillips VTR8000. And as you can see, there's no English on the box hardly. All Chinese. And that was difficult in getting this thing set up. But after messing around enough, I was able to get it set up. Let's take a look at it though. It is way smaller than the hand. Very little recorder. Let's take a look at it while I'm reading you some of the specs and telling you about the features of this little voice recorder. The features listed are 8 gigs of built-in storage, which was appealing to me. It has, I'm going to wait to save this for last, 150 minutes. Nope, I can't even talk about that. Color OLED display. Wave recording. Record type PCM, SHQ, HQ, SP, SLP. Audio bit rates of 1536 kilobytes per second, 192, 128, 64, and 8. Built-in lithium battery. And it is compatible with computers of all kind. On the side of the device, you'll see a micro USB. No, that's a mini USB port. A microphone jack, a headphone jack, on-off switch. At the bottom of the device, you're going to see an SD card slot. The other side of the device, you're going to see a hold button and a stop and record switch. And then the top of the device, you're going to see a couple of microphones. And what's that dot there? That's curious. That, my friends, is a camera. It's got a camera. That's what I was holding off on these features for. Integrated camera for video recording, AVI format, 640 by 480, and 150 minutes of video recording in high quality. Now, is it really high quality? Word. It might be. I doubt it. Nonetheless, pretty fun. Especially if you want to do like hidden recordings. Sound-wise, put it in your pocket. Or, if you're just walking around like this, maybe video recording, nobody would know. Like just scratching your head, walking around. Yeah, just holding my keys. That kind of thing. Pretty cool. Honestly. Got this thing brand new for like $15. I'll show you the screen real quick because the screen is it's an impressive thing. It's full color, which I think is rad. And then you got your little file readout screen and all that. You hit your menu button and you've got voice mode, music mode. So you can play songs off an MP3, off the SD card, MP3s and stuff. MP3 player. Video. Radio. You can listen to the radio. And you got your settings. Thank God I got this back in English. The operation of this thing's pretty straightforward. If you've ever used a Phillips voice recorder, everything kind of goes off the menu button, and the stop button acts as a back button. One touch recording, you slide that hold button up to record, it starts recording. So you pull this out, you hit that. Let's see, even with it off, maybe? Yeah, so you do have 2 switch, not one touch recording, but if you turn the device on, it's on. Now, once it comes on, I'm going to do something a little different here. Okay, once it's on, once you've got the switch turned to on, you can press and hold play, and it will turn off. Okay, now it's not going to turn back on until you either toggle that on-off switch or you hold play again, or you can hit the record switch up. That's going to kick this thing on and it's going to start recording immediately. So in that sense, it is a one-touch recorder. 2-touch if you want to slide the toggle to off and not use the play button for that. But it's recording right now. And I'll go ahead and talk into it like this. And we'll use the sample here in just a moment. I'm going to sync it. Beep, beep, beep. So now we're using the Phillips VTR8000, and as you can hear, this sounds like shit. So we're not going to continue to do this. We're going to go to the video test instead. Let's do that. For the video portion, I'm just going to hold this far away and go into that like I'm fluffy and I know it, hold it way above the head video style. That way you can see what the video looks like. The audio from far away picks up better than up close. Up close it gets real distorted, grainy, weird. But, you know, this is not the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. That being said, I'm not going to do a whole video with this. Let's go back to the better picture. So there you have it. Just a quick run through of what this little voice recorder can do. Would I recommend it for any serious use? No. The audio is just too bad. Though you can plug a microphone into that jack. And I'll put a sample here real quick of just an audio sample. Here is a test with a condenser. The Marantz MPM something U, 1000U, something like that. Little condenser microphone. But this is a test with that. Not sure if it's working or not, but we'll see. And here's a test with the Alto ADM7. The Alto ADM7, this is a dynamic microphone, and this is plugged directly into the recorder. So if I wanted to record with it, this is what that would sound like. Yeah, seems to do an okay job. Don't know how noisy it's going to be, but does seem to be okay. Let's go back to the condenser one last time. Back to the condenser microphone to see if it works, and it does seem to be working. So this is the sound you can expect to get out of that. That'll conclude the tests of two microphones, small diaphragm condenser and a dynamic plugged directly into the recorder with an XLR to 3.5 millimeter input. As you can hear, you plug a mic into it, it gets a lot better, but that kind of defeats the purpose of pulling this out. That's what she said, and just recording and going. But you can use this to record decent audio with an XLR to 3.5 cable and an actual microphone if you want. If you want to do a podcast that way or something like that, it can be done. But otherwise, this is just a fun gadget. I wouldn't recommend it for anything other than having a good time or discreet audio recordings. Maybe you need to catch a predator with some hard lemonade that's trying to be weird. Obscure Tech, the Phillips VTR8000 is out of here. Bark is out of here. This is a fun one. You can only get it in China unless you find it on the used market, apparently, which I did.